that here Krishna Bhagwan expressed, who he is, but the true form he saw only after Krishna Bhagwan showed him the Vishwaroop. उसके बाद जो उसका अर्जुन की हालत हुई ना एकदम डिफरेंट है. रियल भक्ति उसमें तब भी ही जागी है और उसका एक पूरा एक सेक्शन है वेर ही प्रेज टू हिम एंड वो प्रेयर मीन्स यू कैन जस्ट सी द ह्यूमिलिटी द ऑ द भक्ति वो फूट फूट के बाहर आ रही है. पहले तो वो आर्ग्यू कर रहा था ना और अभी थोड़ा सा पता चला अभी भी फुल फॉर्म नहीं मालूम है. He kind of introduced him. He still had a doubt, hey, how can that be and all that. But so in our spiritual journey, when we talk about bhakti, true bhakti cannot come until we keep learning of who God is. To the extent we will know who God is, bhakti will automatically come in our heart. So you cannot tell somebody, oh, go and love this person. We know in the worldly sense it doesn't happen. It has to flower from within, So I thought I'll bring that point. Okay.
Can I ask you something, please?
Of course.
In all this, it seems like avatar, it takes place. Now let's take it to the personal level, to I-ness, to me, just to me. So is it, when we talk about avatar and he takes a new wardrobe, he makes them take a new wardrobe. But in reality, when we talk about it, about our vasanas, right? And they are, when we are finished with this, we're still left with more vasanas and take another birth. So if we relate this to that, can we relate it to that way also?
Actually, very interesting point you brought. So this is what is, you literally went to the verse 9, the next one, because he's going to tell you why he is, coming like that. Actual reason is what you said, that we get inspired by that and understand. उन्होंने कहा उसमें verse 9 में, now that you brought it up, we won't go there, but we'll just, because we have a few minutes, we can little bit discuss and then we will do in detail over there. It says, he who thus knows in true light my divine birth and action, having abandoned the body, he is not born again. He comes to me, O Arjuna. So, जब अवतार आता है उसको अगर समझ जाओगे तुम कैसे आया, क्यों आया, उसका जो दिव्य जन्म और कर्म, and what do you understand कि करते हुए भी नॉन डूअर है और without
so that once then,
yes,
right?
you apply to yourself, and if you understand to that way, तुम्हारा जन्म ही नहीं होएगा वापस, तुम मुक्त हो जाओगे, तुमको मोक्ष मिल जाएगा. So that's one point. And the second point I wanted to bring is that when people have this argument that, hey, is Brahman Nirakar or Sakar? It is both. Because Krishna Bhagavan is telling you that Brahman takes the avatar. So people who do Sakar puja also is perfectly valid. It will take them to the same place. So we cannot...
They say from Sakar to Nirakar, because you have to have that form till that.
I know, but basically, Tattva se janna means knowing it fully well that both are valid.
Yes.
You cannot argue this is right and this is wrong. Both are right.
Yes.
And it is depends on when you're taking, because that argument happens with people. Oh no, Bhagwan to Nirakar hai. All the people who are doing this puja and all, it's all nonsense and all that. But that's not true. Because here Krishna Bhagavan is saying, that hey, I'm the one who takes this form. So form bhi utna divine ho gaya ki nahi?
Yes.
So there are many different points, and what you said is true, because on one hand, okay, destruction of the bad, वो सब बाहर हो रहा है, मुझे क्या फर्क पड़ा उससे. So here Krishna Bhagavan is bringing that point. If you understand my birth and how it happens, why it happens, what do I do, how do I do it, if you understand that from essence, तुम्हारी भी मुक्ति हो जाएगी. That's the true.
That then, the Atma inside you, the Atma, is it telling you, can we convert that to the inner part of us?
Yeah, it is an inner journey. The spiritual journey is an inner journey, right?
Right.
So you have to, it's a subjective thing. But even in his
But I'm
avatar,
saying not look it as a story, but look at it as how it is to us, how we apply to us, to what's going on within us,
true.
you
In
know,
fact,
and it's
he's encouraging to do that in the next verse. That's exactly what I'm saying. He's encouraging you to internalize this, the whole process of his avatar, know it properly, and by doing that, you will get free.
okay.
I don't know if your
Yeah,
question.
yeah, you're answering. I just have to read further and
Yeah,
I
you read, you will see that that's exactly you are on the absolute right track, because that is in fact a more important function of this avatar. you know Even though it sounds very great, oh, he came for destruction of bad, or all that is fantastic, but the real thing is what you're talking about.
right. I mean, that's what we want, so that
That's what we want, and
helps
that's
our
the,
life.
yes, true. So this is another way of a spiritual growth, that try to understand avatar, and then contemplate upon it, all
Yes.
the things he said about avatar. True.
Thanks.
Any other thing?
So, how do you recognize an avatar? So, for example, we know Krishna is an avatar because hindsight is 2020. Now we are reading Geeta. Now we are told he is an avatar. There may be one amongst us today. How do we recognize one?
इट्स लाइक कि जब जब सूर्य उदय होता है, तो किसी को बोलना नहीं पड़ता है रोशनी हो गई है. That's how I look at it. It's like it just speaks for itself. The beautiful flower is coming up, all the bees are going to come. They know. So I don't think that anybody needs to tell. It'll speak for itself. And if you have another thing, Miraji, is very, very important, is if your mind is pure, you'll recognize it. Otherwise, even अवतार भी सामने आ जाए, आपको नहीं समझ में आएगा. नहीं तो कृष्ण भगवान भी आए थे, सभी थोड़ी उनके भक्त हो गए. Some of those people, Duryodhan and all, till the end, they were like, they thought he was just ग्वाला है, ऐसे ही खाली कुछ करता है उल्टा सीधा काम, like that, right? Dhritarashtra, for God's sake, उसने तो पूरी गीता सुन ली. So there are many different aspects to your question. And here in this case, तो डाउट का कोई आयोटा भी नहीं रह गया, बिकॉज भगवान खुद कह रहे हैं यहाँ पे कि मैं अवतार हूँ. जैसे राम के लिए कहा गया है कि ही डिनाइड, ही सेड मैं तो इंसान हूँ. लोग जो ऋषि मुनि थे वो जानते थे. So I think one of the other point from what your question is, the more highly evolved we are in our mind, we will recognize who the avatar is and their role and everything. So that's why you see all this.
One more way you can recognize, I think, Meera, is these people who have these avatars, they have very great, everybody has a magnetic around themselves. So the greater your magnetic field is, the more greater number of people you're going to attract towards you. So who are the people now in this current, is Sadhguru, is Ravi Shankar. People are being attracted to them. It was Sai Baba earlier on. So they may not be the full avatars, but they are mini versions of that thing. So that's what you recognize. Like, why are people attracted to these people? 11 million volunteers is not a joke. People are working for Sadhguru.
And the other point I wanted to bring, that what Sneha brought, that when हम लोग बोलते हैं ना कृष्ण भगवान, ना विष्णु के बहुत सारे हाथ हैं और वगैरह वगैरह. So one of the Swami said, what it means is that लोग जुड़ जाते हैं उनसे, उनका काम करना शुरू कर देते हैं, वो उन्हीं के हाथ बन जाते हैं. So there is a symbolism in it when they say, they are trying to symbolize that एक आदमी अगर सबको इंस्पायर कर दे 200 and the other 200 make other 500 inspired, उनके हाथ बन जाते हैं, उनके पैर बन जाते हैं, उनका माइंड बन जाते हैं वो, and they can get their work done. That's the true meaning of all these different the symbolism that they show of people. Any other point? Okay. So we can stop Bhagavad Gita here, and I'm going
I
to...
have an example, but I'll cover it later because it will take more time.
Maybe you can cover in that
Yeah.
sure, yeah, the half hour.
That's the Vedanta concept.
Basically,
So you work with the universe.
Vedanta...
So long as the Shiv Sutra says everybody is incomplete. And once you become complete, you are no longer there.
I think what Vedanta's main point is, you are that, you just don't know it. And that's why they use the word self-realization or Atma Bodh or things like that. That all you have done is, you've not gone anywhere, you have not taken any journey of that kind. It's just an adjustment within yourself. Now you know. And within that knowing...
Yeah, I think, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think in that case, that was my question, because even if you don't merge and you are still a separate entity, I don't care, because that may be a question for Joe or more evolved souls, who are looking to be at that next stage. To me, all I'm concerned is that if I don't want to have a missed opportunity, if there is a form of God around me somewhere, and I just sail through life and not recognize that form. To me, it's a missed opportunity. So that's all. So if I can at least know, if God would kindly let me know, that would be good enough.
He will.
Find you. You will never miss it. It will come inside you.
Yes. I think that anxiety you have to drop, because God is, जैसे कि बोलते हैं कि स्वामी जी कहते हैं, God is like, sitting back over the shoulder. कब से wait कर रहा हूँ तेरे लिए? You're not even looking at me. कितने जन्म बीत गए, मैं अभी भी यही हूँ. He says it in such casual manner. So basically, when God sees that you're ready, He will give a tap.
See, Shraddha, Vishwas, and humility. If you keep all three, you'll find Him. Because this is very important.
Just a simple thing like, getting connected with Bhagavad Gita, if you ask me. It looks a very simple thing, but it's a very profound, because it has a complete picture of what it is. And if you stick with it, we learn so much. And sometimes it happens, people come 1 or 2 class and they just drop out. Although I'm not talking about just this class, okay? I'm not trying to glorify our class only. Any kind of thing, opportunity aati hai, but they don't connect to it because they're not ready for it. When you're ready, you will, so I think we have to drop that anxiety completely.
And when you meet him or her, doesn't matter, or it, you'll know it. Your feeling will know it. Sometimes gudgudi hoti hai. Gudgudi. You understand gudgudi?
You feel just so happy. Yeah, you just feel very connected, happy, and kind of you will know it.
Thank you.
Okay, so I'm going to close the class here.
Okay.
Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah Sarve Santu Niramaya Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kashchit Dukha Bhag Bhavet. Hari Om Shri Guru Bhyo Namaha. Hari Om. But I think that for us it's okay, because we bring so many other points. We are going a lot more in depth. But so many other things get clarified. So
We are getting more advanced in the class.
Because we're stuck with it. I mean, most of the people who are in this group have been there for very long. And that's the whole idea, Because, like the way I look at it, all these things, even Puranas and all that and Bhagavad Gita, there are different levels you can study it at. One is very superficial level. Okay, Krishna Bhagwan ne aisa bola ho gaya. But deeper, if we go, then it takes time. Because in just one shloka, so many things come out. So many different things come out, And they are all interrelated. But I think that the Bhagavad Gita, the reason it is so important and good, because it's very condensed. Everything is in there together. So if we go from one end to the other, at least one time thoroughly, lot of concept will get cleared. Because the same thing has been repeated in different angles, you know. So somebody put something in a... Oh, Sneha said she had to leave. It's okay. और बोलो, कोई question, कोई other दूसरा comment, experience, want to add something? सुशील जी कहाँ पे आज?
He had an appointment, doctor
Okay.
appointment.
Well, he usually never misses. So all of a sudden I realized that he wasn't there.
Yeah, yeah.
Regular appointment?
Yeah, he was having pain, and so the weekend is coming, so he just took an appointment,
Yeah.
and then so he was gone there.
Hope he feels better.
Thank you, thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you, Maji.
you're welcome.
Now, nice seeing you all.
Thank you.
And Meera, it's nice to see you.
So I want to give that comment again because Kamala was not there when we were talking in the beginning. My wife told me Joe and Kamala are part of this group and they are running the country.
कमला जी आप हो कि नहीं?
Sound off है उसका.
Running or ruining?
अरे सर, no, अभी तो बेचारे आए भी नहीं है यार. Give them some a little break. You know? But you know, like somebody was saying, ये एक conjunction हुआ था ना planets का, अभी भी शायद चल रहा है वो Saturn and Jupiter and all that. So in India में तो खैर बहुत मानते हैं ये सब, you know, because जितने बड़े बड़े ज्योतिष वगैरह है. But this Western lady, you know, who was like a astrologer, and she said that conjunction is the one which is representing कि भाई big changes are going to come. Huge energy is released, and according to her, ये pandemic or ये change of this thing, and according to her prediction, these are just prediction, huh? So I don't know. I'm just saying what I heard. I thought it was interesting that America is going to become socialist now. You know?
Oh, really?
Yeah. Because you know the new administration, and she thinks it's going to happen in 2023. Let's see if her prediction comes true. Because अभी तो कैसे healthcare वगैरह सब all privatized है ना यहाँ पे.
At micro level, but macro level, 2008, the new age came in with the planets, you know, aligning themselves, and over 1300 years, big changes will come on Earth, and people who are in love and sharing will survive, and those are in mine is the only way are going to disappear. And it will be, population will be reduced to 1/3. And it's over 1300 year period.
You know, I heard that the previous pandemic that happened 100 years ago,
Right,
50 million people died.
right.
Isn't that shocking? And the population was much smaller in those days.
Right.
I don't know exactly what my husband was telling me. I forgot now. कितने थे वहाँ पे वो टाइम पे? Joe, you know how many people were 100 years ago? They were a lot less, maybe a billion or something.
Lot less. अब तो billions में है ना.
हाँ अभी तो 7.7.
But then they didn't have vaccine. Now we have the vaccine.
Probably you are right, but vaccine, we cannot put all eggs in one basket and say vaccine is going to cure everything, because this is a changing virus
But
too.
it's going to stop the spread.
It naturally also it stopped, Shireen. After 3 years, it kind of fizzled out, but it took 3 years at that time for it to fizzle out.
And we'll all thank Trump because he got the vaccine out.
कोई ना ट्रम्प को इतना ज्यादा वो मत करो ट्रम्प. There are other hundreds of people worked on it. He just probably said, okay, go ahead with it.
But he made it happen.
Yeah, true. But
This,
it is.
this is a new world order. You will see we'll all be staying home permanently and getting paid by the government. That's a plan.
I mean, that will be a disaster for the country if you just keep give
They're
handouts.
going to use robots and all that. No. It will be.
You know what?
for the-
We think like that because we have only one way of thinking, and what Krishna Bhagwan says is that world is a balance. कुछ tip होता है, कुछ आके उसको fix कर देता है. You know, so that's what it is. It's just a little. Sometimes it goes this way, sometimes it goes that way. Just adjustment चल रहा है at a higher level. हम लोग को समझ में नहीं आता है. And we just looking at it from our limited way of thinking, you know. So that's all it is. But from the whatever is happening has affected the whole world. That we have to agree. It's not anymore any country. It's not, and it's a whole global thing, right?
Yes.
I mean, a year ago, हम लोग को mask क्या है वो भी नहीं मालूम कि you know. So कमला जी ने finally अपना सुंदर चेहरा दिखाई दिया. कमला जी क्या बात है? आप कहाँ घूम रहे हो अपने घर में? We can't hear you. Yeah, unmute yourself.
Sound is off.
कमला is making halwa.
नहीं मैं झूले पे बैठी थी और धूप सेक रही थी
अच्छा.
और मेरा जूम बंद हो गया, मुझे पता ही नहीं था, बस आवाज आई जा रही थी.
नहीं आप भरता बना रहे हो ना.
I know, हमको सबको सुन लिया. हम आ रहे हैं आपके घर पे खाना खाने.
या वो तो सबको पता चला. वो तो मैंने बना दिया था शुरू में ही.
No, Kamala has been making halwa.
Oh yeah, I love halwa.